Hey everybody, it's Troy Marsh, and this is the Columbus Closers podcast, where we sit down with successful business owners, usually in real estate, to talk about their biggest wins and also how they've overcome their largest defeats. My goal with each episode is to provide you with at least one tactic that you as the listener can use today to take your business to the next level. So wherever you are, make sure that you subscribe to get the latest episodes on your favorite podcast platform. Hey everybody, this is Troy Marsh, and you're listening to Columbus Closers today. So I'm super excited to be sitting with another top agent, Jermaine Fox. So welcome, man. Thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks for the invite, Troy.
Yeah, man. Well, I just like to always start off with talking about who you are. Like, obviously, you're a very successful real estate agent, which we'll get into in a minute.
I do all right.
And though I'd love to know, what do you do outside of real estate?
Outside of real estate, I coach most of my son's teams. I travel at least once a month. That's part of my business plan. Mentor people and just try to see how I can impact other people's lives. I'm in that giving back mode.
Nice. And how old are you?
I'm 40. I better not look 40, but I'm 40.
Giving back mode at 40. That's a pretty good place to be. So, what are you coaching for your son?
I coach his basketball, flag football. I'm on the board of a charter school, Columbus Preparatory Academy.
Okay.
So he does sports there. He goes to Dublin, but we just started there in Dublin this fall, so he missed the sports. So I still do all the stuff with that Columbus Preparatory Academy.
Man, that's a busy life. And so how much real estate did you sell last year?
I know at the award ceremony, I was one deal away from $10 million. And I had it, but a guy on a 285 the day of closing decided he didn't want to sell, make $113,000 tax free. So I barely missed my number.
But then you also do you have a team as well?
Yeah. So I have one full-time person and like 3 part-time people.
Mm-hmm.
And the full-time person, he did right at $4 million. And then the other 2 part-time did like another $1.5 million. So team-wise with me and them, we were just at around 15.
Right around 15, between 15 and 16.
Yeah, we got 20 now. Okay,
yeah.
20.
So your goal this year is to do 20 million?
Yeah, as a team. Because that's still fairly new to me. So I got a lot of growing to do.
Yeah. When did you get your license?
I got my license in 2011.
And when have you been selling full-time that whole time?
I was full-time the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So going on year 9.
Yeah, I got my LinkedIn said it was 9-year anniversary like a few days ago.
So what got you into real estate?
I always wanted to do it, even back in the day before I knew anything about real estate. When I was in high school, people were like, you was talking about real estate. So my first year of college, I took all the classes on the weekend, 13 weeks, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And I couldn't afford insurance at the time. So they took my suspended my license. I kept driving. I'm young. I know everything. And bumped into somebody. So if you bump into somebody with no insurance, no license, they take your license for a year automatically. And it gave me 12 points. So I didn't have them for 2 years. So I was like, obviously I can't sell real estate. So I forgot all about it. Got out of college, worked for the railroad up here, moved to Columbus, started doing new home sales. I did business to business telecom sales, did new home sales, and loved the freedom. Wasn't making no money eating ramen noodles, but I loved the freedom. I was like, I got to figure this out. And then when I was got fired from that, because I've been fired from most jobs. That's just my personality. I ain't good with management. So anyway, I got fired, and then I took the classes that next week, got my license, like I said, 9 years ago, and I ain't looked back.
So so you got your license 9 years ago. When did you start adding team members?
I was probably, I want to say, the first person was CJ, and it was just like I mentioned I might want to start a team. He's like, hey, I sold him a house. He's like, you still doing that? I was like, I can. So I don't even really count it because he didn't do too much. But I would say 2 years ago when I got Doyle, and he was full time, and he was always around me and mentoring daily. So I would say 2 years ago.
And how did you said the first person kind of just fell in your lap a little bit.
Yeah,
was Doyle a little bit more purposeful?
No, actually everybody just comes.
Okay.
Doyle, my barber in West Jeff, there's 3 of them. The main guy who I had, there was another kid that was young, and Doyle wanted to know about real estate, and that barber Jake was like, well, I know a guy, Jermaine, he comes in here, drives a Tesla, blah, blah, blah. So I met him at the coffee shop, recommended 2 or 3 books to read. He read them. And then a few months later, we talked about him getting his license. He took the test and got his license.
So was there strategy behind sending him away with 3 books just to see what he'd do with it?
I wanted to see if his mind was right and if he was coachable. Because some people ain't ready. So if I give you a couple books to read, I know how valuable those books are. You may not, but someone who's hungry, well, one, they see I'm do okay, so they're going to listen. So they're even going to listen to me tell them read a book that's going to possibly change their life. And he did. And he's one of them people now where he still reads. And this year he hit 6 figures too with selling insurance for me and real estate. So that's what I told him. In 3 years, you should be right at 6 figures. You'll be making more than your friends.
Yeah. So I heard you just mention he's selling insurance for you too. So you're doing 10 million on your own, which was how many units?
I think with my price point, I think it was just over 40, 43, something like that.
Yeah. And then selling insurance for you. So what do you do with insurance?
I have a company called Mission Insurance. We do home, auto, and life. And I'm a broker, so I got 50 companies: Grange, Progressive, Allied, Mallfree. So we run your thing through Easy Links. It quotes all 50 companies. So when I quote you, I usually win about 80% of the time. Versus if you go to State Farm or Farmers, they're a captive agency. They got one price. So they only win about 10 to 15% of the time.
And so when did you open up your insurance company?
I did that 3 years next month. 3 years in April.
And what's the growth looked like on that side?
Well, first, we started zero, nobody, started from the ground up.
Right.
Bought into a franchise, so we have access to all these carriers. And I think the first year we did like $100,000 in premium, and now we're just at 600. We in at 3 year. But now I'm building more relationship with lenders and finance managers where people are giving me deals every month. So I think soon in the next few months we'll be doing 100,000 in premium a month.
A month, nice.
That's the goal by year's end. So then hopefully we'll go from 600 to like 1.5 to 1.5 to 3, and then that's when I'll feel a little better about myself.
Yeah. So how much time in terms of insurance versus real estate? I mean, you're running a healthy business on both sides of that. How much time are you devoting to real estate versus insurance?
I know my money comes from real estate, so I would say it's probably about 65-35.
Okay.
Real estate, insurance. But insurance, the reason I liked it because it goes hand in hand with what I already do. So I'm not stepping out and learning all new things. Insurance is pretty basic. You hire good people. I got a good partner to help with the back end stuff so it doesn't tie my day down. So I wanted to I'm getting better at delegating.
So what have you, if you looked at both of the businesses that you've been a part of, and we think about leverage, which you've mentioned a couple times, what's been the thing that you've started to look at around leverage that you have implemented into both of those businesses that's helped give you the most success?
Well, now I'm focusing on passive. Obviously, it's hard to get that in real estate unless you have investments. That's why I got rental property too. I got a 6-unit last month in Dayton. So I want to get more passive through real estate. I want to grow a bigger team so I can get that income coming in to save me a little more time. And then, like I said, the insurance, obviously that's passive too. And I like that because I can scale that too. I can buy someone else's business and double my company that way too. So I could scale insurance a lot easier than I can real estate, but I want both. I want multiple streams.
Multiple streams. So what's important to you? I know you said you're studious. What's important to you about multiple streams? Like, what does that do for you?
It gives me the freedom to come and go as I please and not take that client who's a headache or who's just negative, not even be around negative people if I don't want to. I'm real big on that. If I don't like your energy, your vibe, I'll be cool with you for those few minutes I'm with you. But after that, I'm like, nah, that dude, he's a cancer and I don't want him on my team or anything like that. Wish him the best. But that's the thing. So I control who I'm around. When you're broke and you're first starting real estate, you got to take every client, deal with every issue. Everything's a headache at first if you don't have any money. But now when you get a few dollars, you can people respect you more, so you don't have to deal with that. So, but my time and my headspace, my happiness is the most important to me right now.
So on that, in terms of your real estate business, what would you say is do you get almost all of your business from sphere of influence and past clients, or do you have another source that stands outside of that group?
No, I'll say 95% is through that. I mean, I do Boomtown and stuff like that, get a lead here, lead there, but 95% is my sphere. So
what got you, has that been the case all the way through your career? Did you just kind of really focus on doing the right things with your sphere, or did you have a lead source early on that helped you kind of get going?
Nope, I started off on my own. I actually was joining a team with HER at first because I was in class, met this cool dude. We clicked. He's like, my buddy's killing at HER. He's spending $2,000 a month on leads, and we're going to do this and that. And then right before I went over there, where I'm at now, called me and gave me some crazy split. And I was like, I'll at least take a chance on myself, see what happens. And it worked out. But no, I always feared because I came from new home sales. I'm not from Columbus. So I had sold a few houses, and I think I kept I put down 20 people's names, number, and email address. And that's what I started with. And I called my mentor, and he was like, my buddy's in Indiana killing it. Give him a call and see what he does. And he was like, I do Buffini. Calls, notes, and pop by. So you stay in touch with people so much. And a lot of people don't know what pop buys are, but seeing your sphere. So those 25 people, I would go see them once every 2 weeks just to say, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm still selling houses. If you know anybody thinking about buying or selling, please let me know. And that started from there. And then I started getting a few people. The first full year, I had my son. So I was home all the time. I think I sold like 2 houses. Not full year because I got my license in April. But the first full year, January, no money. February, no money. March, last day of the month, I had 3 closings. Made $10,000. I never had $10,000. I was like, oh, this might work. April, nothing. No closing. May, $1,500. June, nothing. July. So long story short, that first full year, 7 to 12 months, I didn't get paid, but I made $43,000, and because of the tax code, I got to keep every penny. So I had a little cushion for the next year, and then the next year I hit 6 figures and kept a lot more of my money.
So when you look back on what you did, what would be the one thing that you would tell an agent who is just starting out in the business to make sure that they do?
Make sure you stay in touch with your people. And when I didn't have any leads, I would do them pop buys and just go by and see my people because I'm top of mind now. And it'd be amazing. I stop by, hang out, just see how they're doing for 20, 30 minutes. They won't have any referrals. I leave. A week later, dang, they're like, here you go. So-and-so was talking about such and such work, and I gave them your name and number, and here's their name and number. And that's how anytime I needed business, I go see people. I do pop buys.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that you would tell somebody
right.
to do.
That and I would slack on my personal notes. Those help a lot too to deepen that relationship. So if you can do pop buys and personal notes, you will start getting business at a lot faster rate than the average person sitting there waiting on somebody to call them because they don't know what they're doing.
And then what about if you could go back to 2011 right now and tell your 2011 brand new agent self to do this one thing and it's going to make all the difference in the world, what would that be?
I would have started doing client parties a lot sooner. Because that's let me reach people a lot more, and it's giving back and not asking for something. And I put it off for years, and then I got a coach from Buffini, and he let me go for about 6 months. And he's like, Jermaine, that's it. I've asked you several times. Next time we talk in 2 weeks, you better have a venue for a client party. And I'm a movie guy. I watch movies. So I rent out the movie theater. And the first time, it had a good turnout, cost me $1 gazillion because I paid for everything. And then I was like, man, I gotta restrict some of this fun. So I told people I'd pay popcorn, kid snack pack, and a drink. So they went through the line. It was on me, but while they was in the line getting the drink and the popcorn, they was charging my card. I was like, oh, let me get pizza. Let me get nachos. But they didn't know no better. And I had a really crazy bill. So the next time I said no drink for the adults, but everything else. And that way, if you want to drink, you go through the line, pay for it yourself, and then you can get all the other stuff. And that saved me like $1,500 right there.
So are movies pretty much the event that you do, or do you do other things?
I do other things too. It's just movies are a lot easier. I do like 5 a year now because there's always Disney movies, big movie blockbusters. But I do ice cream socials. I do pie pickups. And then this year I'm gonna try to do another thing or two. It may be bowling. I was thinking about Top Golf, but they be tripping on the prices on Top Golf. But what I'll do, I got a platinum membership now. Just got it last week. And so some of my clients, every month I'll do a giveaway or something, and they'll win to come do free Top Golf once a week or something. And I'll give it to a different person. That way, I'm still giving back to my people, and I'm always top of mind.
Yeah, kind of promoting engagement and the stuff that you're sending.
Yeah.
So how many events will you do this year? First question, and then follow up to that would be, I've heard some people who were doing client events kind of go into what I would call more micro events. So you got like your movie event where you're inviting your whole sphere and past clients versus maybe more of what you're talking about with Top Golf, where it's like, hey, I know these people like golf,
clients,
or your A+ clients. So are you doing a mixture of those things, or are you focused mostly on the big stuff?
I used to just do the big ones, but like you said, you just asking about where you get your leads, so you spend your money. I spent $100,000 on leads that I don't think work, but I know when I get back to my people, it works. So now I just want to get back to them. So I'm probably going to do 10 events this year. Last month I did Sonic. This month I'm going to do Mulan. And then probably 2 months. I'm going to do probably about 6 movies and then try to do some more micro events and stuff like that. But I want to do 10.
So how big is your sphere or your database? And then what kind of, return do you get in terms of people showing up?
So my database right now, I think it's just under 400 families. And I usually get about 170 people. And I'm about to market it. And I don't send it out till a week before. So I usually get 150, 170 people from that. But this time I'm going to do it 2 weeks and just get the bigger theaters, like 250. That way I want many people that can come as possible now, because that way I just want to promote. And I got new team members that are coming on getting a license. So I'm going to need a bigger place.
Should have bigger database.
Yeah. And I'm giving away a 70-inch TV at this next one too.
No, that doesn't hurt.
That ain't going to hurt. That's going to look good on social media.
Yeah. So do you do a giveaway at every event?
This would be my first time.
Okay.
I had someone mention to me, like, hey, we should give a giveaway. We should buy this and that. And then at the holiday, TVs at Best Buy, special pricing. So I was like, let me just grab a 70-inch and hold on to it for a few months and then give it away.
That's awesome. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, and I told you a little bit before, is all these things that you're doing that you've just listed is enough to fill most people's schedule probably for 2 or 3 years. And really the reason I wanted to have you on most of all was to, congratulate you on the success of all that stuff. But on top of doing all of that stuff, I don't know a licensed agent personally that travels and does as many things as you do, on top of owning an insurance company, investment properties, a successful real estate team, having a son that you coach all of his sports. And I still feel like every time I talk to you, you're out of town. So I would love to know kind of what your philosophy is on that and how you kind of create that work-life balance.
So my schedule with my son's mother, we get 50-50. So we got it where I'll either pick him up or drop him off every day during the week. And then we'll have a long weekend. So like this weekend, I'm getting him here when I leave here, and then I'll take him to school Friday, and then I don't get him back till Tuesday. It's my long weekend. And then the following weekend, his mom won't see him. She'll drop him off Thursday and she won't get him back till Monday. So on them long 4-day weekends, I don't have him. I'll fly wherever I want to go. Because if I need to show a house or something, everything now is through .loop, and you can make phone calls. I can pay someone to show a house for me, and everything else I can do while I'm on vacation. I just appreciate the fact that I'm there. So if I got to take an hour or two to do some work, I'm still in San Diego. I'm still in London. Wherever I'm at, I'm good with that.
So you just kind of have gratitude on the fact that you're able to be there and just do the work as you need to.
Right. And everything's networking. So I've worked out some really good deals with flying. So I get to fly pretty much free when someone's passed. And then on top of that, I get half off hotels at Hilton. So it doesn't cost me nearly as much. I think I went to Miami one time for 3 days. Flight, hotel, 1,100 square foot condo, 3-bedroom overlooking the city. Food and Turo car cost me like $480 through $5 for 3 days because I don't drink. And I'm not a big food connoisseur. I got to go to a super nice restaurant. Like I said, I just appreciate being there, getting the experience, enjoying meeting people while I'm down there with social media and stuff, and then coming back.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as long as I'm still doing better and making good money, that's like my motivating factor. Now, if the money slows down and it affects me business-wise, then I got to cut that stuff out. But I think it motivates me more to want to keep traveling, to come back when I get here. I'm grinding. I think I've met 4 people today. I think I met someone at 10:45. I met someone at noon. Met someone at 1:30, met someone at 2 or 3 or 2, and now I'm here at 3, and I'm meeting someone at 4. Then I pick my son up at 5:30.
So do you have a goal to meet a certain number of new people? Are those all people? I mean, obviously we've met before, but
not all of them are new. Well, 2 people was new today, but 2 people was new today, but new or not, I just want to meet 4 people because a lot of times you want to strengthen the relationships you already have. Because those are the ones that will be gold mines down the road are always going to refer you and put your name out there or tell you about another business opportunity or something. The more people you know, I've learned now, like I have ownership in some other things too, equity in companies and stuff like that. And people wanting to partner and do roofing companies or whatever it may be, because I'm always constantly meeting people. Because real estate to me, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business. You just have to monetize as much as you can.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, well, the last question I wanted to ask you is, we've all bumped up against ceilings, right? Mm-hmm. in our lives for various different reasons. And so sometimes it can be really uncomfortable and even painful. So looking back through real estate and also insurance, whatever businesses you were at, throughout your life up to this point, what's the one ceiling that you broke through that was the most painful, and what'd you do to kind of push yourself past that point?
Painful? I don't know. Painful. I know for a few years I was stuck at like 3 or 4 million. I don't necessarily think it was painful. I was just comfortable. I thought I was kind of successful and I was okay with it. And then I started going to more conferences, meeting people, making more money than people in my office. And that helped push me over that limit, which is where, most people are competitive. So you're like, I was number one and now I'm not. So I got to get back on top of that mountain. But there was no painful. It's like if you're good at a sport or something and someone's better than you, you just got to put in more work. Consistency is key. So I just like, all right, what I got to do this? I read this book, go to this conference. So once I start going to more conferences and stuff like that, which actually, once I got divorced, I was able to devote more time to that because I had more of my time than I had to be home every night at 6 o'clock. I could stay and work late until 10. So the nights I don't have my son on Monday and Wednesday, I may be in office 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter to me because I know the days I want off, I don't feel bad. So here's one other thing I want to say. So like all this time, we got the same 24 hours. I sleep literally 4.5 to 5 hours a night. So if you sleep in 8 and I'm sleeping 4.5, I got extra 3.5 hours a day, extra 24 hours a week. So I got an extra 52 days a year that you don't have to do whatever I want to do. And it also gives me time to do more personal growth and all that stuff. So I don't need a lot of sleep. I realized that at an early age. I'm a late nighter. I'm up till 3. I get up at 7:30. So with the extra hours I have, I try to put them to good use.
And I know I heard you mention that you don't drink.
Right.
Are you pretty strict on your diet as well? I mean, what do you think allows you to function on 5 hours of sleep?
I just got one of them minds, man. It don't stop. But yeah, I'm pretty strict on my diet at times. Like right now, I know I'm going to Miami in 2 weeks, Denver in 2 weeks, Miami a month from now. So I got to make sure I look the part. I want to look like a superhero. But when I'm off my diet, my diet is still, I eat like 65, 7% the same. I eat piata every day, 2 pieces of chicken. I eat eggs. I eat and drink protein shakes and eat peanut butter and peanuts. Now, when I'm off my diet, I'll go grab something with someone else or whatever, but I don't go crazy no more like I used to.
So it sounds like throughout your whole life, consistency is a key, whether it's prospecting in real estate, whether it's eating the same food every day. I mean, would you say out of everything that you do that just that key component of consistency is the thing that's kind of pushed you?
Yeah, I think anybody that's good at anything, they've been very consistent and put a lot more time in than most people. And I heard this the other day, real estate, anything, longevity is credibility. So I meet so many people that say I can sell ice can Eskimo and get in real estate, think they're gonna make a lot of money the first year. I'm like, no one even looks at you as an agent this first year. They look at you, that dude that's the trainer at the gym or sells cell phone, whatever it may be. Real estate to me is a lot of marketing and customer service. You can market and get people to like, or if you a lot of marketing to get people exposure, and then you do good customer service where they like you, they're going to use you over and over and over again. Because a lot of people, as you know, they don't stay in contact with their people. So like when I throw a client party, it gives me a reason to send out an Evite, an email, a text, and a phone call. There's 4 things right there. The beginning of the month, I send out a mailer. On the middle of the month, I send an email about something. So I'm touching you 6 times a month right there. And most agents send out a calendar or football schedule.
Yeah. So that's like what, 72 touches a year?
And that's without my personal notes and my regular phone calls to you. I may call you once a quarter. There's 4 more times. I may send a personal 4 more times a year. So I'm close to 100 times I'm trying to touch people.
So I'm sure you've heard people say this before, but we talk about doing 36 touches a year, and people are like, oh my gosh, like, don't people get annoyed with you when you do that? And now you're talking about 175 to 100. So have you ever had anybody get upset with you about how often you reach out? And if not, what are you doing to...
I had some people in the beginning before I did the client parties be like, hey, you ain't got to send me a message. You're my guy. I'm going to use you. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I know. But no, I get this more often than not. When I do the client parties, I invite 400 families. Like I said, only 150, 170 come. So that's probably 20 something families out of that 400. And the other 380 that don't come, when I see them a few months later or whatever, if I ain't talked to them, they're so great. Man, I'm sorry we was out of town with the family. I missed it. I really wish I could have came. We're really going to make the next one, Jermaine. We appreciate you. So it's more appreciation because I'm not calling all the time, hey, you got a referral. I'm offering something. I'm giving something away. And then, like I said, people kind of feel like they owe you. It's like, hey, he's a good guy. He's giving me stuff. And that's just my personality. I like to give back. So it goes hand in hand with who I am, and it's genuine.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I really appreciate you giving back to me today and coming and spending a little bit of time. I know you're a busy guy, and you like to make the most of your time when you're in town. So I appreciate you giving me this time, and we look forward to continue watching your journey and what no doubt will be continued success. So thanks a lot, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Troy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Always a good time with you.
Thanks for checking out the latest episode of the Columbus Closers podcast. We really appreciate you sharing your biggest takeaway from this episode by tagging Columbus Closers either on Instagram or Facebook. And if you're interested in being a guest on a future episode, email us at info@columbusclosers.com. And if you would do me one favor, subscribe to this content wherever you're listening so you can keep up with the latest tactics and real estate trends so that you can take your business to the next level.